Hello everyone and welcome back to TAL. Today we're going to be learning about factoring. So let's begin. So factoring is all about taking this large polynomial and breaking it down. So we're just basically discovering the factors of what two factors are multiplied to make this. However, we already know this, so we're trying to discover these two factors. So we're sort of working backwards of multiplying polynomials. So I would recommend just watching a video about multiplying polynomials. I made one, or just watch some video and have an idea because it can help a lot with factoring. But anyway, let's actually begin factoring. So you can see that I've written a chart here with factor, F representing factor, and S representing sum. And with factor, we do A times C, and with sum, it's just our B. So we need to discover what our A is, what our B is, what our C is, because this won't make any sense if we don't. But x to the power of 2 is your A. Minus 5x in this case is our B. And minus 14, like the one without any variable, is our C. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our sum, right? So our sum would be minus 5. We would want our two factors to equal to minus 5. Then here we have A times C. So remember, you could sort of put an imaginary 1 in front of this. So this is 1 times minus 14. And this is minus 14. So what I typically like to do is first just write out my factors, and then I can double check with my sum. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. So minus 7 times 2 can make minus 14, or minus 14 times 1. We can also have the opposite, 7 times negative 2, but with those factors. Then I'll go to my sum, and I'll see if I add these numbers together, would it work? Negative 7 plus 2, does it equal negative 5? Yes, it does. Then we can also try for this, negative 14 plus 1. No, that does not. That results in negative 13, so we can eliminate this. But these two factors do work. So what I would write would be x minus 7 times x plus 2. And there you go, you got your answer. So this is an example. Let's just do another example and I'll end the video then. So in this example, one difference that we can see is that here, instead of being only x to the power of 2, it's 2 in front of the x to the power of 2. There's 2 written in it. So whenever we have this scenario, always think if I could simplify it, because simplifying makes it a lot easier. So here we can see that maybe I could divide it by 2. And when you see that, yes, it is divisible by 2, as these two other numbers are even as well. So if I divide by 2, it becomes x to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 18. This is not something you have to do, but it does make it easier. So now that we have sort of simplified it, it's not that big of those numbers. Sort of factor gets making it easier to factor it. This is not that big of a number too, but usually there are like way larger numbers, so it's just better to simplify it. But let's make our factor and sum chart. And 18 is our C. 3x is our B, and x squared is A. That looks like a Q. But negative 18 times 1, or that imaginary 1, is minus 18, so that's what we're factoring. and b is 3. Remember, our sum is b, and then our factor is a times c. But then I'm going to think of the numbers I can factor. 6 times minus 3, right, has to be minus 18. 9 times minus 2. And then we can see that 6 minus 3 works here. So then I would just write x minus 3 and x plus 6. But we can tell that our original problem was 2x. So what I'm just going to do is just put 2 here. And that should do the magic. What you should always do, what I used to do and what I still do, is that I double check, right? But one strategy to double check is to multiply these two and see if you would get this as an answer. So we would multiply polynomials. So maybe if I take this problem for an example, I would multiply, right? So 2x minus 3, right, we're distributing it, 2x minus 6 times x plus 6. So this becomes 2x to the power of 2. Then x times minus 6 is minus 6x. 6 times 2x is 12x. And 6 times minus 6 is minus 36. So 12x minus 6x is 6x. So 2x plus 6x minus 36. Is that the answer? Yes. So these two factors are right. That's the way to double check. Make sure you do it on your tests and quizzes. It will help you a lot. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Next video is over the quadratic formula, because in some cases, no matter how much you try to factor and sum, you just can't. So that's where the quadratic formula is very handy. So see y'all.